the key to this game is producing top shelf product so that your buyers are able to sell it, right? And it's really interesting what happens time after time after time again. And buyers, I do not understand why they don't learn their lesson. They would always buy the highest quality product from us. Then they would go and buy a lower quality product for $200 cheaper, $300 cheaper, whatever it was, and they couldn't sell it and they were stuck with it. And it was really funny, right? Because they're buying product, it's high quality, they take it to their end consumers buy it, they love it. Then the buyer gets a phone call from a buddy that says, oh, come buy my Blue Dream, right? It's the same thing. Yeah, I'll give it to you for $200 cheaper. Yes, they might have the same strain, but it's not the same quality because they didn't grow it with the same tender loving care. They didn't grow it with the same watering practices. They didn't grow it with the same inputs. They didn't grow it the same way. They didn't use the same pesticides or fungicides or ensured that they had a healthy crop so they didn't have to use a pesticide or fungicide. So just know that if you focus in and always make your primary focus producing top shelf quality, you're always going to be able to sell it. And even if these people come in and they strong arm you and you have to sell it for $1,100, I'm telling you, man, it takes 6 weeks to grow a head of lettuce. And people do that nowadays. They grow a couple head of lettuces in their backyard, right? Same thing with your indoor grow. You know, you have all these assets. And if you can keep producing that flower, if we can get you to produce a pound, I think you harvested 20 pounds, right, this last harvest. So, and it took you, let's say, 4 months to harvest 20 pounds. Then you got paid, let's say, $22,000, let's say, for your entire crop. So you're making $5,200 a month. And let's say maybe it's costing you electricity, nutrients, water, everything, maybe $600 a month to produce a $5,200 product. So you're 10xing your time, money, energy, whatever it is. When you know your numbers, it allows you to win this game, right? And what do I mean by win this game? Well, it's the emotional struggle is what takes people out of this game. And when you know your numbers and you know when you're actually losing money, that's the only time you should feel upset. And you have to ask yourself, like, if you enjoy gardening and that if you make it your goal to enjoy farming, enjoy growing plants the way you would enjoy raising your children, why the same way you would enjoy living a healthy lifestyle, right? It's not an obligation, but it's an opportunity, right? And you treat it that way. Then that's why you would produce a head of lettuce, right? And a couple heads of lettuce in your garden. It's not to produce a couple heads of lettuce because obviously you could buy it cheaper at the store for $2 a head of lettuce. It's because you get the opportunity to grow something and harvest it and cook it and feed your children something that you put your energy, your love into, whether they don't totally understand, you did it for yourself, right? And when you make it about that, right? When you make your growing, your culture of your company, I know it's just you, right? But you just treat it as a company, you treat it as you're developing a mindset and a culture around your growing practices, and you're developing a system and process and methodology around selling your product so that when you do sell it for, $1,100, $1,200 a pound, 800 pounds, 600 pounds, whatever it ends up keep going down to, you're still winning because you never, once again, go through that emotional struggle because you know your numbers. Especially as you get more efficient, the buyer might be thinking he's getting a better deal, but you know that you're producing that pound at $100 a pound, maybe $125 a pound, and you're still making the decision that you're going to be happy with those profit margins. And then there might be a day where those profit margins aren't worth it anymore to grow it, where at that point you might have to transition to outdoor to grow more and or stop growing altogether because It's just not worth it. Though at that point, you've made that decision because you've created an exit point. When you go to a business seminar, one of the first things they'll tell you is the best thing for you to do is to create an exit plan. And that's what you'd want to do in your operation is you want to create an exit plan where once the value of the crop reduces to this amount, to whatever it is, you're getting out of the business. And that's your exit point. And because maybe there's another opportunity for you. Maybe there's another job that someone's been begging for you to go do for them, but because they're only offering you $60,000 a year, maybe it's only $40,000 a year, but because you can grow and make $60,000 to $80,000 a year, you're like, you know what, I can make twice as much growing, so why give it up now? Anyways, I hope this was helpful on kind of understanding pricing structure around knowing your costs and your metrics and not letting the buyers beat you up because they're putting you through emotional whirlwinds. You're actually controlling that emotional aspect because you've made the decision that once it hits a certain number, you're out of the business. But as long as the number's over that, you're gonna be happy. Thank you so much and have a great grow. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.